I never imagined a quiet dinner with my wife would end with someone in handcuffs, but life has a way of throwing curveballs when you least expect it. My wife, Lynn, and I had just settled into our new home in Willow Creek, a tidy suburban neighborhood with manicured lawns, chatty neighbors, and an HOA that ruled with an iron fist. We'd heard rumors about the HOA president, a woman named Deborah Langley, who treated the community like her personal kingdom. People whispered about her at mailbox chats, but we hadn't had the pleasure or misfortune of meeting her yet. That all changed one Friday night when Lynn suggested we check out Jade Lotus, a bustling Chinese restaurant a few blocks from our house. Lynn, who's half Chinese, was thrilled to see if their dumplings could hold a candle to her grandma's recipe. I was just happy to unwind with her after a grueling work week. The restaurant was packed when we arrived, the air thick with the aroma of sizzling stir-fry and steamed buns. A kind older hostess led us to a cozy table in the middle of the dining room. As we sat down, I noticed a woman at the next table mid-50s with a sharp blonde bob and a gaudy peacock feather necklace. She glanced up from her phone, gave us a look that could curdle milk, and went back to typing like she was filing a police report. Lynn greeted our waiter, Tommy, in Mandarin, and his face lit up like a kid on Christmas. They chatted for a moment before she switched to English to loop me in. Tommy says the chef special is this amazing Sichuan dish his grandma used to make. Lynn told me, her eyes sparkling. I caught the blonde womanlets call her peacock, lady scowling and fidgeting in her seat, clearly eavesdropping. You speak both languages so well, I said, grabbing Lynn's hand across the table. I really need to take you up on those Mandarin lessons. Lynn laughed. Your pronunciation's getting better, babe. Remember when you ordered Stinky Teacher instead of garlic chicken last time? We were cracking up when I noticed Peacock Lady's glare sharpen, like we'd just insulted her entire existence. I tried to ignore her. This was our date night, and I wasn't about to let some stranger's bad VY best ruin it. Tommy brought us tea, and we kept chatting in English, flipping through the menu while Lynn translated the non-English items, pointing out her favorites. It was just a normal dinner until it wasn't. "Excuse me," came a voice sharp enough to slice through the restaurant's hum. We looked up to see Peacock Lady staring at us, her eyes narrowed to slits. "Do you mind?" Lynn and I exchanged a confused glance. "I'm sorry, is something wrong?" I asked, keeping my tone polite. She let out a huff that could have blown out a candle. "This is a Chinese restaurant. Don't you think it's disrespectful to be sitting here, speaking English so loudly? Some of us are trying to enjoy an authentic cultural experience." I laughed, thinking she had to be joking. She wasn't. "I'm sorry, what?" Lynn asked, her voice calm but laced with disbelief. "We're just VYing dinner." In English, Peacock Lady snapped, like she'd caught us committing a felony. In a Chinese restaurant. It's cultural appropriation, and it's making a mockery of this place. I blinked, wondering if I'd slipped into some parallel universe where speaking English in America was a crime. Other diners were chatting in Mandarin, Cantonese, and plenty of English. "Ma'am," I said, trying to keep my cool, "my wife is Chinese-American, and oh, that's even worse." She cut me off, her voice rising. "Using your diversity to justify being disruptive. I'm Deborah Langley, president of the Willow Creek Homeowners Association, and I know you too. You just moved in, didn't you? We have standards in our community, and this VY or makes us all look bad." There was a HOA card. Of course, this was the Deborah we'd been warned about. Diners were staring now, and I felt my cheeks flush with embarrassment. "Ms. Langley," Lynn said, her voice steady as steel, "we're just eating. We're not being disruptive, and the language we speak isn't your business." Deborah's face turned beet red. "It is my business when residents of my neighborhood act inappropriately in public." She whipped out her phone and started recording us. "I'm documenting this for the HOA board. This disrespect for other cultures won't be tolerated in Willow Creek." People were gawking. An elderly couple nearby whispered to each other, shaking their heads. Tommy hovered, looking like he wanted to vanish. "Look," I said, trying to de-escalate. "We're just trying to enjoy our meal. Can we? You know what your problem is?" Deborah interrupted, her voice booming. "You young people move into our established neighborhood and ignore all our norms. Your kind is ruining our community's character. Our kind, Lynn repeated, her eyes widening. Mixed couples who don't respect traditional values. Deborah spat, still filming. I've seen your porch with those foreign lanterns. This isn't some global marketplace, you know. That was it. I pulled out my phone and started recording too. Ms. Langley, you're harassing us for no reason. We're speaking English in an American restaurant where everyone's speaking English, and now you're making racist comments about my wife and our home. How dare you? Deborah leapt up, her chair screeching against the floor. I'm not racist. I'm preserving our community standards, and I'm not harassing anyone. I'm protecting this restaurant's authentic atmosphere. By now, Mr. Chun, the restaurant owner, hurried over. What is problem here? He asked in accented but clear English. Deborah pointed at us like we were criminals. These people are disrupting everyone's dinner with their loud English in your Chinese establishment. Don't you want to preserve your cultural heritage? Mr. Chun looked baffled, then annoyed. Ms. Langley, this third time you make trouble here. All customers can speak any language. Please sit down or leave others alone. Deborah gasped like she'd been slapped. How dare you take their side? I'm a paying customer. I'll report this place to the health department. Lynn and I had enough. Let's go, I whispered. We stood, but as we tried to leave, Deborah stepped right in our path, shoving her phone in Lynn's face. Don't think you can just walk away from this, she hissed. The HOA board will hear about your disruptive behavior, or... Mr. Chin stepped between us. Ms. Langley, you leave now, or I call police. Deborah's face twisted with fury. You know what? I'll call them myself. She dialed 911, putting on a performance that belonged on Broadway. Hello. Yes, I'm at Jade Lotus, and I'm being threatened by hostile outsiders. They're causing a disturbance and won't let me leave. I fear for my safety. Gasps rippled through the restaurant. A guy at a nearby table stood up. I'm recording too, lady, and that's not what's happening. Deborah ignored him, doubling down. Yes, they've got me cornered. Please hurry. Mr. Chin looked at us, apologetic. I'm so sorry. Please sit. Police come, we explain truth. Minutes later, 2 officers walked in. Deborah rushed them, clutching her necklace like a damsel in distress. Officers, thank goodness. These people were harassing me for politely asking them to respect Chinese culture. Before the officers could respond, 5 customers approached, phones out. That's not true, said an older woman. She was harassing this nice couple. I got on video, added a college kid. She was making racist comments and blocked them when they tried to leave. The female officer turned to Deborah. Ma'am, can I see some ID? Deborah's smug look faltered, but she handed over her license. I'm the president of the Willow Creek HOA, she added, like it was a royal title. Ms. Langley, the officer said, multiple witnesses contradict your story. Can I see your video? Deborah clutched her phone. I might have deleted it by accident. She's lying, said the guy who'd been recording. She was filming them and threatening to use it with some HOA board. The officer turned to me. Can we see your recording? I played my video, which showed Deborah blocking us and ranting about mixed couples and foreign decorations. After reviewing it and talking to Mr. Chun and other witnesses, the officers pulled Deborah aside. We caught snippets, false police report, harassment, disorderly conduct. Deborah's face cycled from rage to shock to panic in seconds. This is ridiculous. I was just maintaining standards, she shrieked. You can't arrest me. Ms. Langley, turn around and place your hands behind your back, the male officer said. What? I'm a respected community leader, she wailed as he pulled out handcuffs. Deborah Langley, you're under arrest for harassment, filing a false police report, and disorderly conduct. As they let her out, diners clapped. Deborah's face was a mix of fury and humiliation as she was marched to the police car. Mr. Chin approached us, apologetic. Dinner on house tonight. So sorry. She caused problems before, say racist things to staff. Now maybe she stopped. The next day, we heard Deborah was charged with multiple misdemeanors, facing up to 6 months in jail and overdue Law 2000 in fines. Better yet, the Willow Creek HOA held an emergency meeting, and by Sunday, Deborah was voted out as president. Neighbors said she stood in her yard, screaming in her bathrobe, "You can't do this. I am this community." But her reign was over. So what do you think? Was Deborah just a misguided stickler for standards, but did her actions cross into outright prejudice? Should the restaurant have banned her sooner? Or was she entitled to her cultural experience? And what about the HOA? Should they have more power to control behavior or outside the neighborhood? Drop your thoughts below. Hit that like button if this story got your blood boiling. And subscribe for more wild tales.